ACMA has been working on building an aftermarket platform for a long time now. Actually, this has been one of the long-standing committees as part of ACMA. So there's been a lot of work to do with bringing, I think you would have seen today, is bringing partners together to kind of build and reinforce the importance of the aftermarket. It plays a lot of different roles, I think, from service for the customers, including road safety, including sustainability, emissions long term. So there's a lot of aspects that combine to form the aftermarket, importance of the aftermarket for ACMA. The aftermarket, unlike the OE space, is very confused because there are many different players that try to get a share of the pie, and it's only when they work together that really the aftermarket grows in a more sustainable way. So you have different manufacturers of components competing for that share of the pie. You have the OEMs that they already serve competing for the share of the pie, and then you have caught in the middle distributors, retailers, mechanics. There's technology that's changing, there's a variety of new models and parts that keep coming into the market. So it turns to be quite a complex market, driven by various segments of customers, driven by pricing, driven by quality, driven by availability of parts, and an ever-changing network. So I think that's why we really are looking to see how we can bring together all the partners so that we can in some way organize, catalog and digitize the whole space so that everybody has equal access to the information and can do a better job in the aftermarket.
See, if you look at aftermarket, generally this is not so well understood as an industry. First of all, it is not an afterthought. Actually, consumer experience is basically impacted by the complete chain of activity in aftermarket. Now, I also call it, just for the understanding of the general public, it's whole of life cycle industry. That means when you buy a car or a two-wheeler or a truck or a three-wheeler, from then till it is scrapped, everything happens in between, whether maintenance, service, insurance, used car sale, all of that together. So this is a very broad industry which is not always well understood. People only understand the spares and service. So first of all, this group of people who came together today in Chennai, the idea is that what are the current challenges we are facing and how can we look for opportunity which is coming up. So I'm very happy that today again completely overbooked conference where we had the OEM partners, we had the aftermarket companies, we had the external new players coming on the aftermarket ecosystem. Now having said that, if you look at whole of life of a vehicle, this is consumers' experience is built based on their day-to-day interaction, on their use of this vehicle. So whatever great design and manufacturing by the OEMs, at the end of the day, aftermarket people and our ecosystem is the nooks and corner of the country. What you saw here is, we have given a kind of a vision, how can we organize this aftermarket, standardize it and digitize it.
As far as the trends are concerned, I spoke about some of the evolving technologies which are there, especially in the EV space. But conventionally, whatever are the IC engines, vehicles which are in the marketplace, there is absolutely not going to be any change from that point of view. Only thing is the landscape in terms of the channel, in terms of the network, and in terms of the composition of genuine parts versus the spurious, there is some shift which has happened. And implementation of GST has certainly brought down some of the unorganized sectors' presence in the aftermarket by about, I think, around 10% or 12% has come down, but there's still a long way to go because we are still at around 30-35% of the market with those parts in place. But the fact that certain policies and regulations which are getting attempted at ACMA, and then we are also working along closely with the government agencies as well. We are trying to bring in some sense of legislation and ensuring that the end customers get the right part at the right price rather than get cheated with spurious parts. So those are some of the things which are happening, and I think going forward this will keep gaining momentum, and we will see more and more of genuine parts being given to the end customers to satisfy them and delight them.
You know, the aftermarket has been going through a lot of pains in the last couple of months, and we're hoping to see a surge in the coming months. A lot of changes, a lot of transformation, and we're working with the industry to see how to, not only boost our sales, but also to see how the scale of efficiency is improved. I think a lot of trends here are, obviously with variety in the aftermarket and with speed to market. These are issues which are going to be a key factor going forward. And with the communication initiatives and digitalization, with telematics and some of the other platforms, I'm hoping that we can contribute to a successful endeavor going forward.
Current scenario of automotive aftermarket is very nice. There's a huge opportunity waiting. That's all just to unfold out. But there are certain challenges that we have, like in terms of we are not well organized, we are not well digitalized, and we are not, all the products, all the manufacturers are not well synchronized actually. So what we need to do is we need to organize the aftermarket teams under one banner so that we can have a much more deeper penetration into the market.
The 76,000 crore Indian automotive aftermarket, growing at close to double digit, is going through the kind of changes which it has not witnessed in the last several decades, not just years. There are emission norms, safety norms, different product portfolios, concepts like any kind of concepts like relating to digitization and also branding. One significant thing which will become an opportunity is that people want genuine parts, be it from the OE channel or from the aftermarket channel. This means that the spurious, reconditioned, recon items will slowly get squeezed out and becomes more and more quality parts. The second opportunity is the market is getting widely dispersed, which means if you have distribution houses or a strong distribution policy going up to retail level, either districts or even pin codes, you'll be the person first to supply the product. At the same breath, digitization is an opportunity, be it for payments in multiple forms, be it as a web page, be it through social media to convey a message, or WhatsApp with multi-languages. You get a chance to directly connect with the consumer as well as the customer. All in all, it's interesting times. The threat is that if you do not take advantage of these changes, you might become extinct. And if you do not move away from the carburetor age into the multi-point fuel injection age. So the key thing here, you have to change so as to grow.
Knowing how the current scenario of the aftermarket is, like, I would say that we are on a positive graph upwards where the customers are very interested in the aftermarket. All the OEMs are concentrating on the aftermarket and how the concentration of everyone has shifted to the aftermarket. So I feel that there's a very good opportunity in the next few years, like which I think all of us need to capture it at the right time with the right strategy.